Dear guests, first of all, benvenuti in Toscana. I am Gemma and it's an honor for me to be here and celebrate the wedding of Paula und Miklas. Liebe Gäste, es ist eine Ehre für mich, heute hier zu sein, um die Hochzeit von Paula und Miklas zu zelebrieren. Bitte setzen Sie sich. You can sit, please. Also the witnesses. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Dear guest, we are here today because the bride and groom wanted us all to be witnesses of the promises and to celebrate with them. I like to say that today we're not only celebrating that they're becoming husband and wife, but we're celebrating one of the greatest moments in life of a person. And I'm talking about the moment when two people who didn't know each other, at a certain point, they see each other, they start talking, and something happens, something changes. And even if they were very distant one from another, this is what we call love. Because space, time, or maybe, even the difficult moments of life have been able to divide them. And that's exactly what happened to Paula and Miklas, because they met during the pandemic. They were really far apart from each other, but nothing stopped them from meeting and spending time with each other. And I do believe that, love is made of the smallest act. It's important, of course, to say I love you and spending time together, moving in together and getting engaged, getting married even. Of course, these are very important moments. But I do believe that love is the experience of writing your story every day with the person that you have at your side. So it's not the big moments, as I was saying before. Love is the million little moments that come in between. And for Paula and Miklas, these little moments are when they're traveling, just walking around without proper plans, just experiencing the culture, the local food, hearing the language, seeing the parks and nature around, improvising their day, or cooking together and trying new recipes and ingredients from different countries, eating out and experiencing the best restaurants. Like that time, they tried a recipe with Filipino ingredients cooked by a Spanish chef in Austria. It must have been amazing. Or playing online games, watching documentaries, series, sports, operas and concerts, and movies like Star Wars together. And finally, the little things like discussing any topic and discovering each other's points of view, which are always different and interesting and fun, as they have different cultural backgrounds. So we tend to underestimate these little moments, but I invite the bride and groom, and I invite you all to always cherish these little moments, because we all tend to be in a hurry. So we tend to plan a lot and think about what's happening next, tomorrow, in a month, or in a year. But sometimes we just have to stop and enjoy the moment. Like today, we are in a beautiful place with beautiful people. So we are not in a hurry today. So once in a while, today or even later, stop and think about beautiful things that are around you, and also the beautiful people, and also think about the gifts that you received in life. I'm talking about gifts like friendship, like family, and like love. Exactly like today, because I see friendship, I see family, I see love. Liebe Gäste, wir sind hier, weil das Brautpaar uns alle erzeugen möchte, während sie sich ihr Versprechen geben und mit ihnen zu feiern. Feiern wir heute nicht nur, dass sie Ehemann und Ehefrau werden, sondern feiern wir auch einen der größten Momente im Leben. Und ich spreche von dem Moment, in dem zwei Menschen, die einst Fremde waren und sich nicht kannten, durch unwiderstehliche Attraktion angezogen werden. Und das ist, was wir Liebe nennen. Und Liebe bedeutet nicht Liebe, die zu sagen, zusammenzuziehen, sich zu verloben, sogar zu heiraten. Eigentlich ist Liebe die Erfahrung, jeden Tag unsere Geschichte zu schreiben mit der Person, die wir an unserer Seite haben. Also Liebe sind nicht die großen Momente, wie ich zuvor sagte. Liebe sind die Millionen kleinen Momente, die dazwischen liegen. Insbesondere für Paula und Miklas sind diese kleinen Momente, wenn sie auf Reisen sind, einfach ohne richtige Pläne herumlaufen oder gemeinsam kochen und neue Rezepte oder Zutaten aus verschiedenen Ländern ausprobieren. Oder die besten Restaurants auf der ganzen Welt kennenlernen. Wie damals, als sie ein Rezept mit philippinischen Zutaten von einem spanischen Koch in Österreich probierten. Oder gemeinsam Online-Spiele spielen, Dokumentationen, Serien, Sport, Opern und Konzerten und Filme wie Star Wars ansehen. Und schließlich, wie Sie mir gesagt haben, über jedes beliebige Thema diskutieren und die Standpunkte den anderen erfahren, die immer unterschiedlich, interessant und lustig sind, da sie einen unterschiedlichen kulturellen Hintergrund haben. Also, liebe Gäste, genießt immer diese kleinen Momente in ihrem Leben. Wir haben es immer heilig. Also lade ich Ihnen alle stattdessen ein, es ab und zu langsam angehen zu lassen, über das Leben und die Geschenke nachzudenken, die wir erhalten haben. Geschenke wie Familie, wie Freundschaft und wie Liebe. Und heute, ich sehe alle hier. Ich sehe Freundschaft, ich sehe Liebe, ich sehe Familie. Und in ein paar Minuten, ich werde Ihnen ein bisschen mehr erzählen über dieses schöne Brautpaar. Also in ein paar Minuten werden Sie die Geschichte von Paula und Miklas hören. And now I'd like to celebrate our bride and groom, recalling the very first moment that brought them together. Paula and Miklas met online during the COVID lockdown in 2020, as we said. Paula started doing streams on Twitch, and Miklas randomly ended up on her channel. Little by little, they started spending a lot of hours chatting, writing about different topics from politics, stereotypes, dating, traveling, and food. Soon they realized they had a lot of common interests and enjoyed so much each other's company that they could spend even 12 hours chatting together. And as Paula said, their love gradually blossomed. And I imagine it was night for you and was day for him, isn't it? And the other way around.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding the distance, they decided to be in a relationship. But meeting was not easy at all. In fact, the Philippines was still closed to foreigners, and it was also not easy for Paula to get a visa to Germany. Hence, they decided to meet halfway in the world and ended up meeting in Georgia in November 2021. That first encounter was really romantic because it was in the middle of the night at a very small airport in Tbilisi. He picked her up there with a driver. It was slightly snowing. And the apartment they rented had a really nice view of the city and the night sky. They just sat together on the floor and had a bottle of Chianti wine together that Miklas had bought for her in Siena a few weeks earlier as a gift for their first meetup. On the next day, they walked through the city exploring it together for the first time, and in the evening they went to the best restaurant. That was already a good start. Miklas says the transition from an online relationship to being a proper couple was quite quick and smooth, funny, but actually sometimes even a bit awkward. Miklas says it could be the theme of a romantic comedy movie. The original plan was to travel together for 4 weeks and then fly back. But it was actually too difficult for them to separate. And also to separate for an unpredictable period of time. So they just stayed together for Christmas and New Year. I can imagine them calling their families and say, "We're not coming back." It must have been amazing. Miklas appreciated also, the little things that I was saying before, like Paula when she was trying her best to find a birthday cake and party decoration and a nice gift for him in a country that was totally new to both of them. And the same he did later in Armenia in February. To sum it up, they spend their entire relationship traveling, and it's from these travels that come the most important and even fun moments between them. For example, the moment Paula experienced the snow for the first time, they went to a quiet monastery in the mountains of Georgia, and out of nowhere it started to snow. She got very excited. It's also here in Georgia that they had a crazy ride with a Georgian driver across the country, passing through forests and reaching even the ski area. Altogether, it was around 6 hours of adventurous ride through rough roads. They also took a ride on the second longest free-span cable car in Europe, while in Culo, always in Georgia, which means to be like in a tiny car full of locals packed like in sardines. You can Google it, it's real. And then they visited Armenia, the United Arab Emirates, and Europe. And here visiting the areas where Miklas and his family come from, so Germany and Lithuania, right? With Paula was very emotional for Miklas. The most emotional moment in Europe was for sure when they were in Vienna, after dinner at a restaurant, Amador restaurant. Come closer. I didn't want to stop, but I couldn't. Now it's better. They were in Vienna, and after dinner, Paula followed Miklas for a walk, not knowing where they were heading. But it was not a casual walk for Miklas. In fact, he had planned it in detail. Miklas knew how Paula loved the Before Sunrise movie, shot right in Vienna, so he led her to the exact location of the final scene near the statue of Archduke Albrecht, outside the Albertina Museum. As she was looking out to the moon and admiring the cityscape, she turned and realized he was holding out an engagement ring. An engagement ring. She was shocked that instead of saying yes, she asked, "Are you sure?" Where he also showed her a paper where he wrote flames. There was a high school thing that boys and girls do in the Philippines. Paula says it was beautiful, a lovely intimate engagement. And there was an important and emotional moment, of course, but the biggest memory, and also probably the favorite day in their life, was the really spontaneous and improvised, can I say that? Official wedding. Official wedding in Hong Kong. They wanted to have a small celebration before the wedding with you all. So they just took a day for them, explored Hong Kong and took photos first. And then they went to a peak overlooking the city, had drinks and lunch there, and during sunset they took a 2 hours long ride on a traditional Chinese boat back to the city center. He was incredibly romantic, and they had a lot of time to have fun and be emotional, be just themselves, just the two of them. And the fact that it was really improvised made it simply perfect, they say. Paula und Miklas lernte sich während des Covid-Lockdowns im Jahr 2020 online kennen. Paula begann auf Twitch zu streamen und Miklas landete zufällig auf ihrem Kanal. Habe ich verstanden. Nach und nach verbrachten sie viele Stunden im Chat und schrieben über verschiedene Themen wie Politik, Klischee, Dating, Reisen und Essen. Bald stellten sie fest, dass sie viele gemeinsame Interessen hatten und ihre Liebe erblühte allmählich. Trotz der großen Entfernung beschlossen sie, eine Beziehung einzugehen. Aber es war gar nicht so einfach, sie zu treffen. Die Philippinen waren für Ausländer immer noch gesperrt. Daher beschlossen sie, sich auf Albenweg zu treffen und trafen sich schließlich im November 2021 in Georgien. Diese erste Begegnung war auch deshalb so romantisch, weil sie mitten in der Nacht auf dem sehr kleinen Flughafen in Tiflis stattfand. Die Wohnung, die sie gemietet hatten, bot einen wirklich schönen Blick auf die Stadt und den Nachthimmel. Sie saßen einfach auf dem Boden zusammen und tranken eine Flasche Chianti-Wein, den er hier einige Wochen zuvor in Siena als Geschenk für ihr erstes Treffen gekauft hatte. Am nächsten Tag erkundeten sie zum ersten Mal gemeinsam die Stadt und gingen am Abend in das beste Restaurant. Miklas sagt, der Übergang von einer Online-Beziehung zu einem richtigen Paar sei ziemlich schnell und reibungslos verlaufen. Witzig, aber eigentlich auch ein bisschen peinlich. Miklas meint, das könnte das Thema eines romantischen Komödienfilms sein. Ursprünglich wollten sie 4 Wochen lang zusammen verreisen und dann zurückfliegen, aber es war zu schwierig für sie, sich wieder für einen unvorsehbaren Zeitraum zu trennen. Also blieben sie noch über Weihnachten und Silvester zusammen. Die wichtigsten und sogar lustigen Momente für sie sind zum Beispiel der Moment, als Paula zum ersten Mal Schnee erlebte. Oder wenn sie in Europa waren. Die Besuche in den Gebieten, aus denen Miklas und seine Familie stammen, mit Paula war erst für Miklas sehr emotional. Der emotionalste Moment in Europa war sicher, als sie in Wien waren. Nach dem Abendessen folgte Paula Miklas auf einen Spaziergang, ohne zu wissen, wohin sie gehen würden. Miklas wusste, wie sehr Paula den Film Bevor Sunrise liebte, der direkt in Wien gedreht wurde. Und so führte er sie genau an den Ort der Schlussszene in der Nähe der Statue von Albrecht von der Albertiner Museum. Als sie zum Mond hinschaute und das Stadtbild bewunderte, drehte sie sich um und bemerkte, dass er in ihr einen Verlobungsring hinhielt. Sie war so schockiert, dass sie anstatt Ja zu sagen, fragte: Bist du sicher? Und sie hat Ja gesagt. Und wir sind hier heute. Das ist der Grund. Ich weiß, ich habe schon viel gesprochen. Entschuldigung. Also, ich lade ein Carrie für eine Lesung. I invite now Carrie for a lesson. For a reading, please.
Love and the Gentle Heart by Dante Alighieri. Love and the gentle heart are one thing, just as the poet says in this verse. Each from the other, one as well divorced as reason from the mind's reason. Nature harbs love and then creates love king, and makes the heart a palace where he'll stay. Perhaps a shorter or a longer day, breathing quietly, gently slumbering. Then beauty in a virtue's ruling state, then makes the eyes yearn, and so that the eyes desires reborn again, and often rooting there with longing thick, till love at last, out of its screaming star, bullets will like their virtues. Grazie mille.
Love Sonnet 17 by Pablo Neruda. I don't know love you as if you were a salt rose or topaz, or the arrow of carrots the fire shoots off. I love you as certain dark things are so beloved, in secret between the shadows and the soul. I love you as the plant that never blooms, but carries itself the light of hidden flowers. Thanks to your love, a certain solid fragrance, risen from the earth, lives darkly in my body. I love you without knowing you, how or when or from where. I love you straightforwardly without complexities or pride. So I love you because I know other way. Then this, where it does not exist, nor you, so close that your hand on my chest is my hand, so close that your eyes close as I fall asleep.
Thank you very much. Grazie mille. Today, the first chapter that Paula and Miklas are writing as husband and wife is a very nice ritual. It's called the wine box ritual. They're not doing this third chapter alone because they now ask you your contribution. In fact, I invite you, so not sure you can see it, I'm afraid of the wind. There's a beautiful wine box here with a beautiful Reserva wine from here. We are asking your contribution. I mean, at the aperitif, there will be some cards for you and some pens. And all that I ask you is to write a sweet and special message for the bride and groom together, for the future together. What you will write will be preserved in this wine box. And I invite the bride and groom to open this box on their first wedding anniversary. There is just one other time that you are able to open the box and partake in the contents of the box. If at some point you feel like you want to reinforce your union, always think that you can count on the support of those present here today. So in that occasion, sit down, open the box, read the wishes, and drink the wine, of course. It's my wish that the words you'll read will always be with you and support you day after day and year after year. Heute, das erste Kapitel unserer Paula und Miklas Schreiben als Mann und Frau, ist ein sehr schönes Ritual, die Weinbox-Zeremonie. Wir werden eine Ecke beim Aperitif mit dieser Box, diese wunderbare Flaschenwein von hier, und auch Karten und Stifte haben. Und ich lade Sie alle ein, einen Wunsch für Paula und Miklas zu schreiben. Und Sie sollen auch nicht so erst sein. You don't have to be too serious when you're writing the wish. You can also write something fun. Just, I forgot that. And write your name. Schreiben Sie Ihren Namen auch. Diese Box, die die Zeitkapsel der Braut und des Bräutigams darstellt, wird an ihrem ersten Hochzeitstag geöffnet. Aber ich habe Sie jedoch bereits zuvor eingeladen, es zu öffnen, wenn Sie auch Ihre Vereinigung stärken und Ihre Unterstützung spüren wollen. Mein Wunsch ist, dass die Worte, die Sie schreiben werden, immer bei Paula und Miklas sein werden, um Ihre Vereinigung Tag für Tag und Jahr für Jahr zu bereichern. Miklas und Paula, we all have our own stories and experiences. Fate brought you together, and this moment witnesses that it was right. The bond that you share is now even stronger than before. And an invisible knot is what ties you to one another. That's why in a couple of minutes I'll tie your hands with a veil. Ich habe gesagt, dass wir alle haben unsere eigenen Geschichten und Erfahrungen. Die Bindung, die Paula und Miklas teilen, ist jetzt noch stärker als zuvor. Und ein unsichtbaren Knoten verbindet ihnen miteinander. Und hier ist er, mit einem Tuch werde ich ihnen ihre Hände symbolisch binden. Miklas and Paula, always remember this moment when your hands are bound together. I wish you'll be hand in hand always exactly like today. It may not always be easy, but if you wish your marriage to be touched with beauty, cherish all the moments and visions that you saw. You must never forget nor deny what you felt. Don't let the disappointing experiences of life distract you. And even flaws may appear which were once hidden. But stay unmoved in your devotion. Believe in your ideals. And believe in what you've created together. So even if you argue, go back, take each other by the hand, and help each other keep this knot tight. Ich habe die Braut und den Bräutigam eingeladen, sich immer an diesen Moment zu erinnern, in dem ihre Hände zusammengebunden sind. Es wird vielleicht nicht immer einfach sein, aber sie müssen sich immer erinnern an das, was sie zusammen erschaffen haben. I will now share some more words that they have told me about each other. So that's why this is a moment just for you. Miklas. Paula appreciates how caring you are. You're always there asking if she needs anything and making sure she's doing good every day. You're good looking, and at the same time so self-conscious, and that's adorable, she says. You're so intelligent, and she knows that with you can talk about any topic together. Finally, she loves your sense of humor. Paula, Miklas appreciates how loving and caring you are. You see right away when something is wrong and are always there for him. He appreciates your intelligence and your critical thinking. You're smart, educated, and even trying to improve your country through your work. Finally, you're so funny and a bit quirky, she says. You always end up in the funniest situations together. And he told me that life is a lot brighter, more positive and happier for him since you are together. He says even in the most boring and depressing situations, you still end up laughing and smiling together. Ich habe gesagt, dass Paula es schätzte, wie fürsorglich Miklas ist. Er ist immer da und fragt, ob sie etwas brauchte und vergewissert sich, dass es ihr jeden Tag gut geht. Er sieht gut aus und ist gleichzeitig so selbstbewusst und das ist bezaubernd, sagt sie. Außerdem ist er so intelligent und sie weiß, dass sie zusammen über jedes Thema reden können. Und schließlich liebt sie seinen Sinn für Humor. Und Miklas, er schätzt es, wie liebevoll und fürsorglich Paula ist. Er sagt, sie sieht sofort, wenn etwas nicht stimmt und sie ist immer für ihn da. Er schätzt Paulas Intelligenz und ihr kritisches Denken. Sie ist klug, gebildet und versucht sogar, ihr Land durch ihre Arbeit auf den Philippinen zu verbessern. Und schließlich ist sie so witzig und auch ein bisschen schrullig. Sagt er, schrullig? Ist das okay? Stravagante, okay. Sie geraten immer wieder in die lustigen Situationen und seit sie zusammen sind, ist das Leben für Miklas viel heller, positiver und glücklicher. Selbst in den langweiligsten oder deprimierendsten Situationen lachen und lächeln sie zusammen. And now I would like to hear your voices. So I invite you to exchange your vows. We say it right first. Give me a second. I'm coming. Do you mind?
Miklas, we found each other in the most extraordinary time. When the world came to a halt, when borders and barriers were erected every day, when people retreated behind masks and doors and shunned the outside world, a time of chaos filled with death and despair. But by some miraculous coincidence, we met the most serendipitous online encounter, and it seemed that fate was in our favor, bringing our paths to collide. What followed were months of explosive chemistry, time spent exchanging stories of heartbreak, of laughter, of tears. Despite the distance, I have never felt more connected to anyone. It was as if you could see and comprehend the depths of my soul. I never felt more accepted, more understood, and you became my heart's very home. For years, I have accustomed to various lines of codes embedded by others before. You debunked them all like a master hacker. You loved me unconditionally like the sun loves the earth, while others would have labeled me crazy, spontaneous, or worse, unlovable. Before you, I only knew of tears from betrayal, hopelessness, and pain. Before you, I only know of loneliness and fear, of darkness and despair. With you, I cry, but not from a place of sorrow, but from immense and uncontrollable joy. I always thought that love and light was just a cliche that most hippies use to sound nice. But you have constantly shown me what love and light means. Having you as my husband beats winning a Nobel Prize, although I wouldn't mind getting both of them. Your great taste in everything, your unending support for my crazy ideas, and your big heart. I have nothing left to desire in a man. I do not possess much in this world, but I can vow you this. I will open the windows daily. I will try my best not to feed you rice dishes daily. Most importantly, I will help you being a parent to Safira and Katie. But joking aside, Miklas, from this day and onwards, I pledge before you and before everyone here that I will always be here for you, no matter what happens in this lifetime. My loyalty to you will be boundless. I will cherish, support, and love you unconditionally with every moment of my existence. I am ecstatic and utterly honored to share my days and my life with you. You are my light, my love, my present, and my future, my partner, and my soulmate. I am one with you now and forevermore.
Every minute of the last 2.5 years has been literally a journey, but not all who wander are lost. Whether we find ourselves on snow-covered peaks of the Caucasus, in the midst of the Arabian desert, or aboard a boat in the harbor of Hong Kong as the sun sets, I offer you my hand and heart as a safe haven filled with love and serenity. Every second of life is immeasurably precious and easy to waste, but every second I spend with you is the most fulfilling and meaningful way of spending life I've ever experienced. I promise to be kind, patient, and forgiving. I promise to hold from this day in my heart, mind, and soul, and to take care of you. I vow to support you in your dreams and aspirations until they come true, and I vow to create a home filled with love and happiness. Today and always, I choose you as my partner for life. From this life we have built over the last years to get to this moment, this great moment in our life, looking into your beautiful eyes. I vow to be the constant source of joy with love in my heart forever by your side. From the first second when I saw you until this moment, I'm happy to have you. You give my life meaning and mean everything to me, no matter where or when. I will love you unconditionally and honor you deeply. I will respect you, empower you, and treasure you in times of health and sickness, amidst sorrows and triumphs, for all the days of my life.
Paula, aware of all the words that have been shared today, do you take Miklas to be your wedded husband, to love and cherish from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health?
I do.
Please say to him. Miklas, im Bewusstsein der Worte, die heute geteilt wurden, wirst du Paula zur Frau nehmen, Willst du sie lieben und ehren, in guten wie in schlechten Zeiten, in Reichtum oder Armut, in Krankheit und Gesundheit?
Ja, ich will.
Paula und Miklas, in a couple of minutes, you'll be exchanging rings. As you will wear the rings, they will speak to the community you live in, to the people you work with and the strangers you run across. The ring proclaims to the world that you are deeply connected in the bond of marriage and that you are husband and wife. I invite you to always wear the rings with pride and never consider them as locks that bind you, but always as symbols of all the beautiful and exciting moments that have brought you here today. Ich habe die Braut und dem Bräutigam gerade gesagt, dass sie die Ringe immer mit Stolz tragen sollen, niemals als Schlösser, die sie zusammenhalten, sondern als Symbol für alle die wichtigen und süßen Erfahrungen, die sie hierher gebracht haben. I invite now Tom to bring the rings. The grooms ring first to the bride. Paula, please repeat these words after me. Miklas, with this ring, today I take you as my husband. You talk in English between you, right?
Yes.
So this time it won't be in German because I want them to really look at each other and hear these words from each other. So Miklas, please, the ring of Paula. Before you place the ring on Paula's finger, please repeat after me. Paula, with this ring,
Paula, with this ring,
today I take you
today I take you
as my wife.
as my wife.
Is there? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to pronounce Miklas and Paula a husband and wife. You may kiss your bride, Ehemann und Ehefrau.